to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up? Episode 40 of the MXSX podcast. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What up?
We are breaking down the 450s at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. This was
Were you
round
announcing?
12. Say what?
Were you announcing just now?
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm always announcing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I could be a wrestling ring announcer.
Maybe.
Coming in to the ring, weighing 535 pounds.
The fat dude.
Yeah, one fat fucker. Here he comes.
Doom, 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 doom.
But anyways, yeah, we're breaking down the 450s. We did the 250s on our last episode. If you haven't heard it, go check it. Also, keep an eye out on the Instagram at MXSX Podcast for some of the cool videos we'll be posting, and there are some cool ones.
Yeah, last podcast was pretty awesome. You guys should definitely go check it out. There was we talked about a lot. A lot happened in this race in the 250 class, so it's pretty interesting to go and listen to for sure.
Yeah, so now it's 450 time, and a couple things to touch on from practice was Marvin put the fastest lap up there, 43.3. So he was hauling all day. Eli was in second. He had a 43.9, which was 43.946, and Anderson had a 43.972. So they're pretty close. But Eli edged him out. But Eli had a crash in practice. He kind of like went over the bars into that turn. I want to say it was the turn before the finish that everyone was coming in real hot in.
Yep.
Anderson was like, it was like the first lap, and everyone was all kind of close together. It looked like he wasn't really reeling the berm, and Tomac just came over way too fast and grabbed a bunch of front brakes and just kind of went over the front. So
Well, he kind of did it so he doesn't really run into whoever was on that turn that went down before him. So
yeah, so he was kind of frustrated and kind of foreshadowing to the night's events, starting his day out frustrated. So
definitely.
One other thing to talk about was Kyle Cunningham. He is racing with a fractured tailbone from St. Louis.
Ooh.
So that's another thing to keep in mind for these 450s. But
Yeah, he's not even in the injury report.
yeah, I read that on his Instagram, and I'm sure we could find a couple other people that are dinged up. Definitely Wilson. We already know that. But yeah, so that seems like a crappy bone to fracture for riding dirt bikes. Getting hit in the ass can't feel good.
Yeah, you definitely need your butt to sit down. So.
And okay, so Brock Tickle had that fourth fastest time. So it was pretty good for him. Justin Brayton, Daytona winner, was fifth. And yeah, so why don't we go ahead and just jump right in? Sound good?
Ready for Heat 1?
Heat 1. Tomac pulled the whole shot.
Yes, he did.
And it was awesome who was right behind him. Who was it? You know who it was?
What was that?
Chad Reed.
That's right. My boy Chad Reed with a great
second.
start.
Yeah, it was good. And Craig was behind him. Freeze and Bowers behind them. But Tomac, once Tomac gets out front, he's gone. He was 3 seconds up on everyone else on the second lap. So soon as...
Yeah, he was an animal that night.
Yeah, soon as he gets out front, that's it. It's over. Bowers passed Freeze for fourth. Tickle passed Freeze for fifth. Chad Reed, he held that second place for like a decent amount of time too.
Yeah, he was up there for a while. It was him, like you said, Eli up front, then him, then Christian Craig.
Yep, then Christian Craig. So yeah, once Chad, he held it for a little bit, and then Christian Craig passed him, and Tickle passed him. So he went from second to fourth pretty fast.
Yeah, well, he ended up making it to the main, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Dean Wilson had like a pretty crappy heat. I didn't really see much on him, but it looked like he just had just like a really crappy start, and he finished 8th in the heat. So, and Freeze made it in. So yeah, that's pretty much, there wasn't too much to talk about there, right from the beginning. The track's all, pretty good condition. Everyone just goes out there and runs. So yeah, Dean Wilson was 8th and Ben LeMay got that last spot.
Ben LeMay got the last spot. Dean Wilson in 8th place. Ben Freeze in 7th. Benny Bloss in 6th place. Tyler Bowers in 5th. Finally a good run for Bowers on the heat anyways. Chet Reed was 4th that we talk about. This is probably his best finish yet the whole year in the heat race.
He just looked good,
He did. And they were saying how comfortable he feels over in Indianapolis for some reason, and he just said something about the vibe of the place. So Brock Tickle in 3rd, Christian Craig in 2nd, and your man Eli Tomac in 1st, taking the win for the heat.
Yep. And then sitting right there on the outside, Theodore Bubba Pauly, Carlin Gardner, Catanzaro, Van Buskirk, whatever they call him. So we'll see them in the LCQ. But on to Heat 2. This is where we get to see Cooper Webb. He's back. We missed last week.
Yeah, it was good to see him back on the track for sure. And
he healed up quick. He went from not being able to ride to, running good. So
yeah, maybe Josh Hansen can take a little pointers from him.
Dude, speaking of that,
he's still in the injury report as a to be determined.
Yeah,
but
with his foot.
but he's posting stuff on his Instagram riding and stuff. So I get it.
I don't know what that whole situation is. It's a weird one.
He's probably ashamed after not making it that one time.
Yeah, not making the night show. Yeah, not even getting like top 40 or something.
Yeah, so that's got to be a shame. But on.
Oh, hold on, real quick. Speaking of that, you know how he's sponsored by like the Nut Up?
Yeah.
The Nut Up team. Like I saw one of those trucks yesterday or today. I was on my motorcycle and there's a van and it said like Nut Up on it, and it was like it was like brands of like peanuts or something that come in like a little airplane style bag, like a little tiny bag of peanuts.
Yeah. You didn't know that's what it was?
I had zero idea. I actually thought he made up the name Nut Up, and I was like, haha, that's a cool name, but I guess it's actually a brand.
Yeah, it's a peanut brand. like protein bars and stuff like that.
It's a hell of a name. I dig it.
Yeah. Well done.
All right, so Heat number 2. Webb is
so Heat
back.
number 2 started real well for Mr. Brayton and Baggett and Webb. With a 3rd place start. Webb, like we were talking about, coming out from an injury on his shoulder from last week, not being able to ride, to being on the bike again a week later. So good to see him. Good to see him back for sure.
Yep, and Anderson wasn't too far behind them because it didn't really take him too long to move past. He
had a mediocre start, but definitely did not take him any time to catch up and make a couple passes.
Yeah, he passed Pike and he passed Baggett. He made a pretty sick pass on Baggett. Like they had that little double before that small straight right in front of the mechanics area. And he hit that thing so fast, and he was going Baggett had to check up and just let him go.
He went super inside of him too. Like he just kind of brought and it just went. I remember that pass. You're right.
Baggett had to let him go because. Yeah, he just had it in his head. He was going to make that pass, and Baggett knew it. He would have died.
It was nice. He also made a good pass before he made that one on Baggett on Tickle before the rhythm section. Tickle, though, not Tickle, Pike. He made a good pass on Pike. Pike not on his best night in Indianapolis, I feel like.
Yeah, no, he definitely had some problems, and we'll get to that more in the main.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just seemed like kind of an off night for him.
Yeah, definitely not. We didn't see him battling. We didn't see him. It was just kind of weird night for him.
Another thing was Anderson. They showed him he overjumped the one quad, and pretty much landed on the face of the triple, and he still landed the triple perfect and just kept going. It was it went from so sketchy to oh shit, pulled it off. Yeah, but and the only other thing to talk about was Webb. went down in that one corner. He like cut right down into Marvin's bike.
Yeah, well, Marvin kind of slowed him. He slowed down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Longer than he should have.
Yeah, so sucks for him. But Brayton won it. Brayton winning another heat race seems to be.
I know, man. That's his 4th in a row, I believe.
He's just on fire, man. This is definitely it's definitely his best year, Definitely.
Oh, definitely. And he's also probably talking about committing for another 2 years, man.
What'd they say? He's what, 32? Is that right?
There's 34. He just turned 34 maybe like 2 weeks ago. Justin Brayton isn't ready to walk away from the sport just yet. Following his second podium in the last 3 rounds in Indianapolis on Saturday, Brayton said he'll probably commit to another 2 years of racing, and then they'll go from there. This is what he said. He said, going into this year, I didn't really know all my contracts were up at the end of this year, and I was kind of like, if I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep going. If not, then we'll just see what happens. And I think he's enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, of course he is. He's still high from Daytona.
Yeah, he said, but as of now, I don't really see an end in sight. I think I'll probably commit to another 2 years and go from there. I really think I can be competitive and keep doing what I'm doing. And I think he's absolutely right. He can definitely compete. He's 4th in the points, if I'm not mistaken, or 3rd in the points, if I'm not mistaken. And he's doing great, man. Like we just said, this is his 4th heat race win in a row. He podiumed Daytona for the first time ever, and he's looking absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so that is cool. It's cool that he's going to keep going. I don't know how old. Is he the same age as Chad? Chad's 34, right?
Chad, I want to say yes. I know he is the oldest guy to ever win a main event. I know he just broke the record.
Who, Brayton did?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like football, like Tom Brady is like 40. A bunch of like quarterbacks will play like pretty old. But I guess some of the younger guys are only like 38 and stuff. So, go for it, Go for it.
Yeah,
if you can run the pace.
As long as you can still do it, I don't see why not. Especially if like now it's literally the best year you ever had in Supercross history. So I don't see why not.
Indeed. All right, so yeah, Brayton won that, and here we'll read the official results for you on that. Justin Brayton, Anderson got 2nd, Blake Baggett was 3rd, Marvin was 4th. He had just a bad start, so 4th place for Marvin. Weston Pike 5th, Malcolm Stewart, he had his moments of looking pretty good, 6th place. Cedric Soiberas,
yeah.
7th. Cooper Webb 8th. Kyle Cunningham, fractured tailbone and on my fantasy team this week, 9th place. Henry Miller, Chase Marquier, M. Tignap, they're all going to the LCQ.
Okay, so you know how I was telling you last podcast how Mossman went over the berm and he just kind of took the net down and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And one of the turns, well, they had a big break in between the 250s and the 450s because they were obviously, flattening out the turn and they were, fixing up the net and trying to take it out and all that stuff. Well, Jenny Taft, she was like talking to all the riders, because they were all waiting for practice on the gate. And he got to Soiberas and she tried to like speak French with him.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah, it was quite funny actually. He, she like started like speaking French, but she finished with English. She's like, "Oh, I got 2 over my head on that one." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it was
That's
pretty funny.
Because that one podcast, she was like, she like read Marvin's lips, like, oh, he's
yeah, she like listened to them whenever he went down on the second round or whatever it was. Yeah.
She fucking went for it, and then it blew up in her face. That's too bad.
Yeah, pretty much. So, because she like interview anyone, like she interview Isaac Knapp, she interview everyone in the gate pretty much because they had a bunch of time in between. So like she like started with like Eli, and then she went to like Anderson, and then she like ran out of people to talk to. So she like, oh well, here is Soviets, and then she's like, oh, parlez français, blah 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 blah, and then like, oh, and so what do you think? And I'm like, what the hell? So like she was like asking him like, how is it to be over here with with other French guys and blah 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 blah. But it was just really funny that she tried to talk, like to speak French.
Was it like could he understand what she was saying, or could she not understand what he was saying?
No, she definitely he spoke English the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, she definitely like she got her message across, but like it was just funny because she started speaking French and like realized that she couldn't do it, so she ended up speaking English. So she did it a couple of times too.
That's funny. I seen her on like doing some college football games and like some soccer stuff. She gets around.
Oh, really?
She did like the dog show. She she does it all. Not
Yeah,
just
so I just thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, sorry for interrupting. But yeah, so that's the Heat 2, and let's move on to this LCQ.
That is hilarious. All right, so Gardner got the whole shot. He's been pretty good the last couple of weeks. He's been on fire. Carlin Gardner, followed by Bubba Polly. He was right there, but he lost it in the whoops. Well, it was weird because he went through the whoops. We're going to put a video of this up. He's like going through the whoops and he just like loses control and he didn't really crash. And he like went off the side of the track and then hit the tough block and kind of like fell over. So another instance of the tough block crashing people right there. But he didn't really crash.
Yeah.
He did save it. But, whenever that happens on the first lap, though, you get screwed.
For sure. Especially on the LCQ.
Exactly. Those short races. Van Buskirk, he made a pass on Marquier for 4, so it looked like Marquier wasn't going to make it. Catanzaro was up there running in 3rd, but he hits a tough block too, like in the middle of the rhythm, and he falls. Yeah. So that puts Marquier up there. And that's pretty much how it ended. Or actually, hold on, what happened to Marquier?
No, Marquier actually also got passed by Adam Etignap.
That's right.
And he was closing on him at the end of it, but Etignap ended up making it to the main event. So
that's right. Another main event for him.
Huh?
I said another main event for him, so that's good.
Yes. Yeah. So Adam Etignap in 4th place, Cody Van Buskirk in 3rd, Dylan Marianne in 2nd, and Carlin Gardner pretty much ran with it from the beginning. So
yeah. So that is everyone who made it into the main. And, let's get into that main then. We'll just start talking about that. This one was pretty good from the start. Mooskin.
Yeah, again, big pile up in the start. Same thing as happened in the 250. You couldn't ask for a better start of this race. Obviously, this is the start, like I said in the last podcast, this is a start that we all were hoping for. Not the finish we were hoping for, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever I was watching it, I was like, oh, Claudio's got to be happy right now. Because it
really was.
Anderson, Baggett, Webb, Bowers, they were all down in that first turn. Craig, I don't know what happened to him, but he was all the way back there in 14th. We never see that.
Yeah, it was great for sure. I was like, oh, hell yeah. But Anderson, man, Anderson is a beast.
He is a beast. And
in Indianapolis, anyways.
He charged strong, too, after that. But so for a while, it was Musquin, Tomac, Wilson, Brayton, Freeze, Tickle, Bloss. But it was Baggett and Anderson, like, just moving through the pack. And they were, like, 13 and 14.
I think they started 17th and 16th. Anderson started 17th.
Yeah, so they were way back there. And it was weird because Baggett, they were like following each other, passing all these people, but Baggett like actually started to pull away from Anderson. And the entire broadcast was just like following Anderson. Just like, oh, here he goes. Here's the Anderson.
Well, he was making up a lot of time. And
they don't, like, Mooskin's out there winning. They like didn't show him that much. They were just following Anderson, which is cool because we get to see him make all these passes. He actually almost lost it trying to pass Reed.
Yeah, he was definitely ripping through traffic, and yes, he almost lost it with a Reed.
But then Baggett went down in one of those turns, and Reed and Anderson both move up past Freeze, and it was just still Mooskin and Tomac and Wilson just going 1, 2, 3, and Mooskin did
Tomac,
good.
Mooskin and Tomac were out early, and they were, like you said, they were battling. But at some point of the race, Tomac went down, and I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah, he went down in that rhythm section, and he was just chilling. He didn't like...
Yeah, he went down... he went down hard because he was in no rush to get back on that bike.
0. Yeah, he was just chilling. Like, I don't know if it was like a head injury. We didn't see anything on him yet.
Yeah, he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm not battling for the championship right now, so I don't need to fucking rush."
Yeah, he took a long breather, but he did get up and finish the race.
For sure. He definitely. I think he got the wind knocked out of him, but I mean, he had to be hit really hard in order for him to, not wanting to rush back on that bike, especially being up front like he was.
Yeah, and
because he had it. He had it. I mean, Muskin was. I'm actually. Let me rephrase that. Him and Muskin were really close. Muskin looked really, really fast, and it would have been a great battle for sure. We would have seen all 20 laps of it, or all 26 that they did, or whatever there was.
Yeah, maybe he just couldn't run Musquin's pace because as soon as he went down, Musquin was like 20 seconds ahead of Wilson, who was in second.
Yeah, he ended up 29 seconds in front of him. Muskin lapped all the way to like 7th place. He almost lapped Anderson at some point. Yeah, it was crazy. And another like interesting thing that I just a situation I thought it will be kind of tricky. Like, okay, so Tomac went down, and obviously he got lapped. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird because like obviously Tomac can run in front of all these guys, but he can't. Like, how does that work in that situation? Like, could he like go in front of him and just kind of rip and just trying to
unlap
get
himself? Yeah, he could do that. Like, for sure. I think he actually did do that.
No, he that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a tricky situation because like they were giving him a blue flag, but he was like he could have like ran away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think that's kind of messed up in that situation because maybe Tomac is trying to like make up some positions, but it's just bad luck that he's about to get lapped. I don't know. It's just a tricky situation.
Yeah, so another thing that happened, whenever all that happened, it was Wilson was in second, Tickle was in third, Brayton was in fourth, and Malcolm was in fifth. He was killing it.
Yes.
He was having a really good run. Then something happened to Pike. Pike I think he went down in the rhythm section. They didn't really show it, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, that rhythm section after the start was whooping everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Everybody went down there. Everyone.
They had that one like really long one too, or that might have been the long one. But yeah, everyone was just getting jacked up, and the track was just super rough. The ruts were just so deep.
Yeah, they were definitely dangerous. They were pretty deep ruts, but yeah, that rhythm section was whooping everybody's ass. Speaking of ass getting whooped, Tickle and Wilson had a great battle.
They did
for like a while.
A really good battle.
Yeah, great pass by Tickle on Wilson before the finish.
Dude, that's
he
what
like
I'm saying.
railed that inside. He railed that inside perfectly.
So perfect.
And there was nothing Wilson could do about it, except for what he did after, which was just T-bone the shit out of him and take him out, dude. That was awesome. That was the best shit ever this year.
After the race, he was on the podium saying he actually like apologized to him and said like he had arm pump and stuff and he cut down and something. I was like, don't apologize. You're on the podium. But yeah, it was good. It was a really good race for Dean Wilson.
Brock. Yeah, him and Dean. Him and Brock had a great battles for sure. They were just going back and forth. It was cool.
But whenever Tickle went down, he kind of pouted about it. He was kind of mad. He didn't get up as fast as he could have. Put it that way. But yeah, Musquin extended his lead to like 30 seconds pretty much on second place. We saw a nice little heel clicker finish, so another win for him. Great night for Musquin. He's back. Musquin is back. I think it's safe to say.
I don't know about that much, but yeah, he looked really good. He had the fastest
30 seconds, bro. 30 seconds on second place.
Yeah, 30 seconds in second place because second place went down. So let's not be like, oh, he killed it. He killed it, not. Not.
Tomac was pretty close, but yeah. So Musquin won. Dean Wilson got second. Justin Brayton another solid finish. Third. Jason Anderson caught all the way up to fourth.
Yep.
Brock Tickle was able to get back up, get fifth. Malcolm Stewart, sixth place. He was on 10. My fantasy team too, so really good pick. Cooper Webb, seventh place. Benny Bloss, 8th place.
That's a good finish for him too, especially with the shoulder thing.
Dude, and what about this 9th place finisher?
Uh-oh. What did I say? What did I say?
Chad Reed.
What did I say when you asked me who to pick between Chad Reed and Tyler Bowers?
Yep.
And I said Chad Reed, and then you said, what did you say?
I don't know. I think I laughed maybe.
No, you said, you think he's going to make top 10? And I said, yep, top 10 it is. And you're like, oh, really? Top 10? Oh, that confidence. Blah, 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 blah. Yep, there it is.
Dude, Baggett got 10th.
Place.
Baggett got 10th, but Bowers was right there at 11th. So they were actually still pretty close to each other.
Yeah, but still won.
And Chad Reed not only has like the main event streak, but he also has like whatever it was, like 220 like top 10 finishes or something.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? It was like some ridiculous number. So we just added to that one again with that 9th place finish. Kyle Cunningham, my other fantasy pick, got 12th place. That was still really good with his fractured tailbone, of course. Vince Freezy, 13th. Cedric, 14th. Eli, 15th. He still beat Christian Craig, 16th. I don't know what was up with him, but just a terrible day. Ben LeMay, Dylan Merriam, Cody Van Buskirk's 19th. Carlin Gardner, 20th. Adam Enticknap, 21st. Weston Pike, though, 22nd. Just 1 point for his performance.
Would that be a DNF?
Not a DNF. Well,
he just got lapped 10 times.
Yeah, I'm not really sure though, because I'm not really sure that he finished that race. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it doesn't really say DNF. So.
Yeah, so who knows what happened. But yeah, looking at the points, Jason Anderson still out front. He's got a 35-point lead over Marvin.
Yeah, still pretty comfortable up there. So
it came down a little bit though. It did. He can't afford to lose. He can't afford to like have something go wrong in 2 races though. That's for sure. He can afford like one bad weekend. But
you have Jason Anderson with 265 points.
Yep.
Mooskin
230.
Brayton.
Yep. Justin Brayton 210. Eli Tomac 4th place 194. So he's moving up. You see, we can get into that top 3 before the season's over. Blake Baggett sitting in 5th. Weston Pike is 6th. So there is a tie for the points between
Eli and
Baggett and Eli. They both have 194. So that's like a tie for 4th, you could say. Who else is up here? Brock Tickle.
At least he's top 10. Well, top 9. Cole Seeley's still right there in 10th place. So.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Malcolm Stewart, he could move into that, 10th spot next week. If he can
for
score.
sure. He's only 6 points out or 5 points out.
Oh, yeah. He is only 5 points out. He should definitely be able to do that next week.
Yep.
Well, and by next week, obviously not this week because there is no race this week. Everyone gets a little vacation, little time off. I know a bunch of people are already doing some outdoor testing, but some people just need to heal up. And some people just need to spend a weekend with their families. Maybe not. Maybe spend a weekend with the bottle. Who knows what they're doing?
Maybe some interviews. Who knows?
Yeah. So, yeah, there isn't going to be a race this weekend, but next weekend we'll be coming back in Seattle for a West Coast race. And, that's round 13, and there's only 17 of these. So we are winding down towards the end of the season.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end here, and we just want to thank you guys for listening and making us bigger and bigger every day, for telling all your friends to listen. We really appreciate it. Just make sure you guys keep updates on MXSX Podcast. My name is Claudio. That was Adam, and we are out.
Peace.